This is a true scary story that once happened to me. That day, to celebrate the successful undertaking of the new construction entity in town, I asked my twin brother to have some beers with me. Actually, it was this guy that helped me easily undertake the construction for the main bridge in town. Back in days, I went to the city to receive construction education while he stayed at his hometown, working as a manager. As we were drinking, we recalled our past memories. We had always been close together when we were kids. My brother asked me about our parents, as he hadn't seen them for a while. I reassured him that they were still fine and missed him terribly, and they would come visit him soon. We spent the whole afternoon drinking, talking till it was getting dark. As we had gotten a bit wasted, we decided to leave for home. My brother suggested walking to his house, as it would be a great way to sober up fast, and also we could do some sightseeing on the way. Since the construction area was near to his house, I agree with his idea, as I always wanted to take a walk around there, so we staggered all the way home arm in arm. I didn't know if it was the childhood memories that became so vivid to me at that time. I suddenly told my brother to bathe in the river with me. It was this river that me and my brother usually went to take a bath in back in the days. Together, we walked down the riverside. The soft green grass appeared so poetically beautiful under the moonlight. Old habits die hard. We took off our clothes soon as we got to the river, just like the days when we were kids. We swam rapidly in the water. The atmosphere in the place was still the same. Nothing had changed since the day I left for the city. After swimming for a while, we continued to soak in the water. All of a sudden, the water became colder, which seemed bizarre to me. I asked my brother about it, but was quickly reassured that it was just a normal phenomenon. As I was listening to him, I was startled by something before my eyes. In a moment, I saw a kid appearing behind my brother in a scary manner. He let out a smile that was widened to his ears. His eyes were dead white, and the face was strangely pale, looking lifelessly. I rubbed my eyes, tried to regain my composure while assuring myself that it was just an hallucination. Seeing me acting bizarre, my brother asked me if I was okay. I said I saw something behind him, but at that moment the water surface was still, and there was nothing out of the ordinary taking place. As the water became colder and colder, I rushed my brother to swim ashore quickly. As soon as I finished my sentence, I was startled when something freezingly cold touched my legs. The feeling was so realistic, despite being pretty nervous. I didn't want to say it to my brother, as he wouldn't believe me either. My premonition told me to get ashore as soon as possible. Seeing the anxious look on my face, my brother agreed to swim ashore as he worried I would catch a cold. As we were on our way towards land, something suddenly grabbed me and pulled me down. I let out a terrified scream which instantly caught my brother's attention. Now, as I was sinking into the cold water, only my hands were seen above the surface as I waved for help. Right that moment, my brother came to my rescue just in time. However, there was a mysterious force trying to pull me down again. It was considerably greater than that of a human. Eventually, my brother succeeded in his attempt to save me from death. He grabbed me tightly with one of his arms, then used all his strength to make it ashore. As we made it onto land, he let me lay on the grass while performing CPR on me. After resuscitation, I slowly regained my conscience. My brother helped me up, then asked me what had happened. I told him there was something trying to pull me down to the bottom, but I didn't have any idea what it was. I told him that it must be something spooky, which I assumed was the ghost I'd previously seen standing behind him, that caused the incident. I pointed at the bruise near my ankle. There was still a black mark that had the shape of a human hand left on it. How terrifyingly clear the mark looked. Now, as I had recalled everything, I remembered looking down as I was being pulled down and saw something that would surely haunt me for the rest of my life. That creepy creatures looked at me and let out a demonic smile. It looked like a child's corpse. He grabbed my legs tightly and stared into my soul as if he wanted to eat me alive. But what was even more scarier was that the child looked quite familiar to me. We were terrified by what had just happened, but none of us had any explanation for the creature to appear and try to kill me that night. Later I returned to my city. One day, as I was enjoying a sauna, something grabbed my legs and pulled strongly, which made me startle. As things happened so unexpectedly, I couldn't do anything but to let out a scream. As I was dragged into the pool, I once again saw the demonic smile of that creepy creature I encountered at the river that night. It somehow had followed me here and tried to drown me again. Despite being pulled down, I was still aware of people nearby rushing to help me. It took them a while to hold my hands and drag me out of the pool. Everyone was astounded. They had no idea how I got myself in such a situation, as it would be out of the ordinary for someone to have a pool accident in this steam room since the water was shallow. Suddenly I had a strange feeling as I sensed something familiar to me presented here. It was him, my twin brother. He was standing next to me. How spooky that was. I remembered being saved by 3 people, but now only 2 of them were here to be seen. Was it true that the other guy was my twin brother? What the heck was happening here? Why did that ghost keep following me? Since that day, I didn't dare to go into the water again, as I was in fear of being assaulted by the ghost. It was him, my twin brother who I'd lost in that river 20 years ago. I could have saved him on that fated day, but instead, I let him die in that cold river bottom.